everyone, it's my honor and privilege to welcome you to the BW Education Wednesday Wisdom. Today we have Dr. Mahadeo Jaiswal, who's the director of IIM Sambalpur, having a conversation with us on the future of education, the future of business schools, and the future of management education. Clearly what he's talking, he is also implementing in his institute, IIM Sambalpur, as the director of the IIM Sambalpur. Welcome, Dr. Jaiswal. It's a pleasure talking to you. First of all, how have been the last 9 months for you personally and professionally?
Thank you, Annurag. And I think you've been always very, very active. I have seen the last 9 months, you've been much more active than many others in the entire industry, including media as well as in business school spectrum. So coming back to your questions that what I've been doing in the last 9 months, it has been a very challenging time because it was a major disruption. Suddenly, we never thought things will change like this. But fortunately, in terms of, I'll just talk about professionally first, like in the IIM Sambalpur, we were not knowing that this will happen. Nobody was knowing, but we were ready with the digital infrastructure. We wanted our entire education should be digitally enabled. I'm not saying only digital, but we had prepared our entire classroom, all the classroom, even in our primary campus, all the classrooms have a digital board and smart class. And so we were ready with those. And when the challenge came, the first challenge was admission that time because some admission was pending. So in terms of admission, many B schools thought of writing off their written exams because the wet exams. We were the first, because we were ready and we had a partner with us, a metal, with which we did a online proctoring exams. Even we didn't escape the wet of our CAT. So the 10 marks or 15 marks which was given for a wet, we were the only institute that time. We had gone for online AI-based proctoring, and so that we said, no, let's go ahead with and use the technology. So that was the first experience, and it was a very, very exciting experience because students were taking their exams sitting at home, and we were at our respective homes, all the faculty members, and we could manage that. Immediately after that, then there was a summer vacation, so summer projects students were doing online. And then came again in terms of course curriculum. So we debated that we said now things are going to be long. We were ready and say that let us not see that only 3 months, 6 months, we planned for the whole year. And we restructured our course curriculum in terms of not the actual content, but in terms of delivery model. So, what we feel and what we visualize, the next 10 to 20 years are going to be very different in terms of management. The management, if you see vertically, are divided into 3 parts. Business part, basically, agriculture sector, industry, that is manufacturing, and the service. And if you see, the agriculture occupies more than 40% population, but it just gives only 15% of GDP. The manufacturing occupies almost 50% of our GDP, and 30% of GDP, and rest all are from coming to the service sector. But less number of people in the service sector, so it creates more ROI. Now, all these 3 sectors vertically are going to be divided horizontally, 2 segments. That is, farm sectors are going to be owned farm by farmers, and partly it will go to contract farming. That is what the farm bills right now talks about. The contract farming means any entrepreneurs can come and do the farming on behalf of farmers and create a business just like entrepreneurs. Now, right now, a lot of resistance are there, but long term, that is going to be like that. Manufacturing, we have a contract manufacturing. US has already shifted long back that they outsource their entire manufacturing to China, India, Vietnam, etc. And they remain only for IPR creation for the manufacturing. They will create the mobile technology, but manufacturing will not happen there because ROI is less than that. And the labor cost is, they've kept very high there. So it doesn't make sense for them. And then they went to the service sector. In service, they had gone more for IPR-based service, intellectual property right. So that is called service. Again, can be divided horizontally into 2 parts. One is a fixed contract, fixed employment that you do with machines and do your service just like IT service. And the rest services can be again entrepreneurs who create new ideas in the service sector. For example, Ola Cab got created, or Paytm got created, Uber get created. So those things they're focusing more on that. So if you see, the future of management is going to the right side, not the left side. Left side means, if you particularly see, the left side is like fixed contract, fixed agriculture or manufacturing, fixed or fixed service. Those are very routine and well defined, and it will go to technology. Technology will drive more and less the manpower. Manpower will be only paid for 9 to 5, just like fixed price. However, the right side of the management, which is completely creative and new ideas across all the three sectors, are going to be totally new. And we thought, let us focus on that. So every course right now, we have one live project from the right side. For example, today I was talking to one of my marketing faculty, and there was a startup company coming from Bhubaneswar, and he has created a robotics lab and robotics for schools and all those educations. And we said, take up that project by our students in the classroom and create a big market for that whole world. And that's the kind of courses we started doing in every course. So we did not change the course name, but we changed the course delivery in terms of bringing the live project from the right side, not from the left side. The left side for the left economy and right side the right economy. That is the future economy, and that is the future management. And that is going to be challenging because those are not very well defined, not very well structured. And gig economy comes in the service, contract manufacturing comes in the manufacturing, and contract farming comes in the farming sectors. So that is where, and right now we have seen the Modi government has come with a farms bill, which creating resistance, but definitely it is going to be long-term benefit. No doubt about that, because more and more entrepreneurs will come. As we have seen that in most of the B school in India as well as outside, they focus only on the left side. They teach what is financial management, what is sales management. It's a well-defined discipline. I think those things can computerize very easily. Why you need management for that? So management education focused in future more for creations across all the three sectors. So that is what we have done in terms of course.
Right. Now, this is a process you started. COVID was the kind of initiator. Now, tell us, what is the change? You already talked about what is the change in terms of the pedagogy, in terms of the tools, in terms of clearly, online education or virtual education, virtual classrooms can't be just talking to a screen. Tell us, how is the overall shift? Because when I was in a business school, the whole charm of being on the campus defined B school education. Now that has been robbed. So how have you compensated for creating life skills?
That's a very good question. We know education, we always think very traditional that unless we meet physically, we will not be able to create something new. Let me tell you, in a digital world, we have experience. Collaboration is the first, step in any creations. And collaboration can happen online as well as offline both. Right. Now, we have introduced a concept called flipped classroom. Okay. Flipped classroom means all the basic concepts should not be taught in the class. That can be learned by students based on the assignments and those things. And when you come to the class, it has to be a collaboration with the industry, faculty, and students. So the research should happen inside the class, and that can happen digitally all over the world together. Right. So we can be schools outside India, we are collaborating with industry, they're giving projects, and that is how the peer learning is happening. And of course, some of the things which when you're in the campus, we interact in the coffee chat and those things, that's not happening. But those things we can't do right now. Okay. Right. So we said that let us focus what we can do right now, and those things we can do exclusively once you are in the campus. Right. So just because it's not in our hand that we can't bring the students into our campus. So, but not time on that. Yeah, that is what we address to that.
There is now no locational disadvantage for anyone. In fact, the term locational advantage possibly is a misnomer in post-COVID times. So give us a sense of how you're thinking about I Am Sambalpur 2.0, and give us a sense of how did you establish I Am Sambalpur 1.0?
Yeah, thank you. I think it's a very, very relevant question, and because I have experienced myself. 2017, when I joined, after government decided that all these new IIMs should be headed by some people. So when I landed here, it was a remote place. There was no air connection that time. But thanks to our Prime Minister, they gifted the airport just because of I Am Sambalpur being located here in Jharsuguda Airport. And then, the challenge was that how we want to differentiate here because of location. At that time, there was no COVID. So we had a disadvantage in terms of connectivity and those things. Although there are a lot of industry here, manufacturing industries and mining industries. So first thing what we did is we set up the vision. So vision, we thought that it should be based on your theme, that is future of management. And I feel strongly that future of management is based on 3 I. And these 3 I are innovation, integrity, and inclusiveness. So we came out with our vision that we want to be an institute of response to nurturing responsible leaders with entrepreneurial mindset. And our core operating principle will be around 3 I, that is innovation, integrity, and inclusiveness. And this CI we have derived from Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh. The innovation is symbol of Brahma, integrity is a symbol of Vishnu, and inclusiveness is a symbol of Shiva. Shiva is a very inclusive God. Even animals, everybody is part of that. So we said the management should be based on always creating something new. That is the right side. Be creative, be innovative. Don't repeat. Like most of the cases you have seen, you have gone through them. Most of the cases are created in by startups in US, like including Starbucks, including Facebook, including Google. They are creating the business schools in US, and the professor there write case about that. And the same case come to here, we deliver that. I think we have to also start creating companies and writing case ourselves. Then only our school will be top. So based on that, that is called innovation in the class. Integrity and inclusiveness. Inclusiveness, we said that when I joined that time, we had 0% of girls in our MBA here. Next year, I came out with a policy with our board. And fortunately, our board is, as you asked the question, the board is a very professional. As per the IAM Act, we have 5 LMs of IAM as a member. It's a compulsory. These IAMs, any IAMs. And then we have 2 industry stalwarts and only 2% from the government, 1 from central and from the state. It's a corporate board. Highly, people are from BCG, people are from McKinsey. Those are the kind of people in our board. The board always look for this kind of ideas. So I propose them that we need to increase gender diversity because across B schools, the gender is very, very low and we are 0 here. So he said, whatever policy you come, you have to operate. This is your school. We will just support. We came out with 5% cutoff only for interview to girls candidates. We did not have any reservation because there's no reservation. With that, we became the first IIM with the highest gender diversity, 49% in 2018-19 admissions. And now based on that, every IIM have copied the model. Everywhere the same model has been now, and everywhere you'll see more than 30% gender diversity. So that is called inclusiveness. We implemented that. So we implemented innovation in the classroom, that is the classroom. We implemented inclusiveness in terms of gender diversity. And now we are doing a very large number of startup ecosystem, that is SME. We have tied up with Ministry of MSME as well as MSME Forum of Mumbai. And we want many thousands of companies to work with us. And we already started a business leadership development program, which is online mode right now. And right now only 16 people have registered on that program, which is basically startups. We created the incubation center so early stage. And now 6 companies are registered with us. And we are basically working for 2nd and 3rd tier cities, new businesses. So this is how we created our inclusiveness in innovations. Integrity is basically, we say that we should have a 0, non-compliance in audits and all those things, any kind of things. And we have included all our students in all our decision making, so that whatever decision we do, 80% people are coming from student community, so that IIM Ahmedabad was driven by faculty, and we said IIM Sambalpur was driven by students. That is our model of operating. We don't want to be driven by faculty, but we want our students to drive, and therefore we included in every committee that they should participate in decision making. So that is how we differentiated.
And just in some way you are practicing what you're preaching. They're supposed to do that when they reach corporate
Right.
India Inc. So you're kind of training them to be able to take projects and make a difference to whatever they were undertaken in the institute. So it's a good model. It's kind of practical training. It's practicing what you preach, and I think that's very, very, very important. Now coming to, if I had to ask you 3 predictions about 2021 overall about B school education and management education, what would those be? But just before that, I'd like to add the 4th I.
Yeah.
The 4th I is also very, very important. You talked of inclusion.
Yes.
You talked of integrity.
And innovation.
And innovation. These 3 are very important.
Right.
But I'd add another I, which is inquisitiveness. Right? That has to be there in every learner.
Right.
Director of, we all are learners. We may not be students in the, but I think any institute that encourages inquisitiveness prepares better learners. And of course, it's a 2-way street. But coming to 2021, what are your top 3 predictions for the future of B schools, for the future of management education, and especially what is going to happen at IIM Sambalpur?
I think, 2021 you're talking, which is just coming.
2021 is 8 days away. So I'm sure you have new things lined up. I would like to know how your
Yeah.
placements have been, how your summer placements have
Okay. Right now our placements in the process, because we generally our placement get delayed as compared to established B schools. So our placement starts actually November, December, and goes till February. So right now we are getting response. I mean, so far we are not feeling any impact due to COVID. And of course, last year, the last moment there was some impact because those who got offer, they also got delayed in terms of joining. Okay, but in this year, fortunately, I think the COVID has not impacted the B school placement, because the kind of job which has been affected as the hospitality sector, tourism, and all things, where our MBA actually not many of them go there. Our MBA goes for consulting, financial, and IT. Those sectors are actually not all due to COVID. The process was slowed down, but I think in terms of requirement is there and economy is coming back. So I don't think there'll be any serious challenge in terms of placement at IIM Sambalpur. But coming back to your 2021, I think many P schools are waiting waiting for the same old norm back. Many are not interested to continue with online digital education. But I strongly feel that will remain blended. Online is going to remain now, because we have seen the plus side of that. And online is giving flexibility that you can work from anywhere. The entire industry have shifted to online, like a lot of companies in Bangalore and Hyderabad and also Delhi. They have asked their employee to work from home for next 1 year. So I'm sure this trend will continue. A lot of traveling and discussions, meeting, all this seminar will go online, and therefore online mode will remain. However, blended mode means in terms of experiential learning, maybe some activity because campus will come back. But I'm sure in the long term it will have impact. A lot of programs which are not adding value, because in online mode the number of students one can do is larger. So maybe some IIMs and established B schools will have better chance of survival. But those who are not adding value, the students might differ from there to establish B schools. So there can be impact on the number of B schools, but number of students will increase definitely, because business will remain.
Thank you so much, Dr. Jaiswal, for talking to BW Education. You're clearly practicing what you're preaching. That's how you've been able to build IIM Sambalpur to a certain progress in a very short span of time. We wish you luck, and I'm sure the practices that you have taken at IIM Sambalpur will add value to the students that studied IIM Sambalpur, but also other IIMs and other educational institutes in the business school domain can learn from your pursuits at IIM Sambalpur. We wish you luck as you go into 2021, and we look forward to having another conversation with you soon again. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Jaiswal.